Now today's story about Hashgacha Pratis is also connected to the whole Maimed that we're learning. Ronnie, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here. I'm with Debbie.
Hi, with Debbie. Oh, okay. So welcome, Debbie, too.
Good morning.
Good morning. A deep story, telling stories of Rabbi. Now ties into the Maimed that we're learning, the whole yichud of Havai and Elikim in both ways. This is the question we're putting on the table for the Fabrengen before Slichus, that people should share what their own thoughts and what they thought deeply about. What's the difference between Milamayla Lamata and Milamata Lamayla? What's the difference between the Neshama, Avodah, where the Neshama, the Etzem and Neshama radiates the Guf Lamata, or there's the work with the Birul Milamata Lamayla? At the end of the day, refinement, connection, union. Okay, so the story here will help us illustrate. I'm going to say it just quickly, and then we're going to continue without next year. So Rabbi related, that Rabbi Meir Blazinski related, a famous Chassid. He told Rabbi that when he was in the Riga, this is when the Rebbe was in the Riga, 1930, early 30s, whatever it was, 33, 32. So he was there at the Rebbe Fabrengt a lot then. It could be this was a Sukkos Fabrengen at the behest of the Frierdiker Rebbe. So he says, he told Rabbi that he was there by Fabrengen of our Rebbe. This is our Rebbe before he was Rebbe. And he's talking about the Frierdiker Rebbe, the Rebbe. And the Rebbe at the Fabrengen said like this. We speak, people speak a lot about the Rebbe, talking about the previous Rebbe, but they forget that he was simply a Gon in Nigla, and not 10, 20 times more than us, but a completely different level. Now, Rabbi Yoel is like, this is what? Like, what's Rabbi Yoel's question here? What's Rabbi Yoel's question? Does we care? What's it negate us? What is it? To understand Rabbi Yoel's question, we have to be immersed in Chassidus, and what is a Rebbe, and what is a Yid, and what is a Neshama, to understand Yoel's question. But Rabbi Yoel's question is, what's it to be impressed about here? And why is it negaya? Why is it relevant to know that the Frierdiker Rebbe is a Gana Goinim in Nigel in Gemara? Listen to Rabbi Yoel's words. What place is there? What room? What's the point of this? What relevance is to say that the Frierdiker Rebbe was a Gom? We're talking about a Rebbe here. Totally beyond. Like I said, great Rosh Yeshiva be gone. Totally beyond. Okay, to understand the question, we have to learn a lot. I'll give the answer quickly because we want to get to the Shir. The answer is connected to our Maimer. And the answer is as follows. You're going to learn something now. In davening, we have a chayra contradiction. In Kriya Shema, we say, Avai lekein avai yachod. To understand what that means, it means Hashem's absolute unity, totally beyond all of existence. And all of existence is absolutely insignificant. So what's the question? So why before Shema are we every single morning describing at great length the praise of the Malachim, the Seraphim, what they say, and what the Efanim say, and what the Chayes HaKodesh say? They are any praise. They are all their praise and words of Kodesh and Baruch, Kvoid, and Chassidic explains everything that they're saying is absolutely insignificant compared to the Eibishter himself. So what's the relevance of their praise? To use an example, it's not an example, but if you would, or somebody didn't meet, whatever, and you want to understand who they are, you're going to ask a 2-year-old to tell me about the person. Okay, 3-year-old can speak. Would you even ask them? Would you even ask them their opinion on who this person is? You want to appreciate and understand the person or any subject? Of course not, because whatever they're going to say is absolutely insignificant because of their lack of intelligence at this point as to the person that you need to understand. So why are we quoting the Malachim? The Malachim are describing that their description, their take, it's all absolutely insignificant, much less than a child. The distance is a gulf that's inseparable. So why every morning this is the Isboninus? The answer is, and this is part of it's integral to our Avodah. This is the preparation to Shema Yisrael. But the answer is that we have a guf and nefesh bahamis, and we ourselves we are locked into our own finitude. So to tell us that Eibush is beyond us leaves us out of the picture. Beyond is beyond. There's nothing more to say. But when we have an understanding in our world of how Hashem manifests Himself, and there's language and words and appreciation that we can appreciate, and in that His kindness, His seichel, His all the things that Malachim describe, His chesed, gevurah, and so on, even though Hashem Himself is infinitely beyond that, but He chose to manifest Himself that way in order that we have some relationship and appreciate His beyond because it relates to our world, and that's then a stepping stone to, and all of this is utterly beyond even all those manifestations. But there has to be a relationship has to be commonality, common ground. This doesn't start. Okay, surrender, beyond, nothing more to say. With faith alone, there's no relationship. Relationship means a meeting of minds and hearts, an eternalized connection. So therefore, Hashem chooses to manifest himself in a descriptive way, and we describe the angels, and even not so finite. But these are the ways He chose to reveal Himself, so that we should be impressed and moved and internalized and relate to it on a personal level, and that's the opening then to connect to transcendence. But transcendence starts from immanence, from a conscious experience in my language and in my words and in my world. Otherwise, I'm left outside of the relationship fundamentally. I'm surrendered to God, but I'm not connected. So therefore, he concluded Rabbi, the same thing is also in the Rebbe, tzaddikim are similar to their creator, says the Gemara. Be'emes, the Rebbe is, it's not Rosh Hashiva and they're gone, and totally beyond that. That's not what the Rebbe is. But nonetheless, that's beyond us, so finished. So therefore, the Rebbe was explaining that he was he was talking about the Fidige Rebbe's goiness and nigla and so on, so that there is a commonality that we can appreciate with our own finite intellect. This creates a relationship and a connection, and that is what it's all about.